Okay. Feet shoulder width apart, knees off lock, gap under the armpits. Let's do a bit of 10-step. Just connecting to the ground. Drop tailbone, touch in, suspend head. Palms to the floor and forward. Drop fingertips, raise arms to shoulder height. Drop elbows, drop wrists down as you're pushing through water. Circle up the left hand, circle down to the right. Both palms, palm up. And right elbow to bring right fingertips to ear. Squaring the hips. Repulse the monkey. Drop away the left hand, circling up the right. Palms up. Left fingertips to ear. Squaring the hips. Repulse the monkey. Sitting down on the left leg, holding ball over left knee. Right hand down, left hand up. Draw in the right foot. Turn the waist to the end wall, stepping out on the right heel, roll the weight forward. And cross the palms to diagonal fly. Sit back with your left leg. Turn the right toe into the corner as you sit down on the right leg, holding ball. Left hand down, right hand up. Drawing the left foot. Turn the waist, step out on the left heel. Roll the weight forward. Cross the palms, diagonal fly. Weight back. Left hand comes across in front. Circles down. As you sit down on the left leg, right hand circles up, hold ball. Sitting into your left leg, drawing the right foot as you continue the circle with the left hand. And left elbow to bring fingertips to ear, then turn the waist. Stepping out to the right, weight forward. Square hips and brush knee push. Then weight back. Turn right toe into the front wall. Holding ball over right knee as you sit down on the right knee. Drawing your left foot. Turn the waist. Stepping out. As you drop away the right hand, weight forward, brush knee push. Weight back. Turn the right toe in to the front wall. Stepping up with the left foot, shoulder width. Cross the palms, weight and waist. Turn the palms, cross through, step up. 1. Weight and waist, turn palms, cross through and step out. Weight and waist, turn the palms, cross through and return. Weight and waist, turn palms, cross through, step up. Weight and waist, turn palms, cross through and step out. Weight and waist, turning right toe out to the corner. Bringing your back foot, crossing palms, pick up golden rooster. Open up the leg, step down and weight forward. Bringing the back foot, cross the palms, pick up golden rooster. Open up the leg, sit down, weight forward. Cross hands. Bringing the back foot, pick up the knee, open, toe kick. Up the leg, turn to corner, step down, weight forward. Cross hands as you bring the back foot. Pick up the knee, open, toe kick. Stepping down, holding ball to center. Adjust your left toe to face the end wall. Then turn the waist, step out, roll the weight forward, and ward off. Circling up your left hand. Then turn palms, weight back, roll back. Forward, forward press. Palms to the floor, weight back and open up the hands. And then weight forward, double push. Weight back, both palms turn flat. Right toe turns into the front wall. Sit down on the right leg, circling your left hand down, hold ball. Bringing the left foot. Turn the waist, stepping out to the left, weight forward. Square hips and ward off. Circle up the left hand. turn palms, weight back and roll back. Come forward, forward press. Palms to the floor, weight back and open up the hands. And then come forward, double push. Weight back, both palms turn flat to the floor, left toe turns into the front wall. Sit down on the left leg, drawing the right foot back to shoulder width. Circle down the hands, cross hands. Open up the hands to shoulder width. Arms to the floor. Push down and close. Okay, so let's break that down a little bit. So we start off Wu Chi as normal. So again, really working on feeling that suspension in the head so that the spine opens up. The trouble is that what we tend to do is forget that and the head comes down. So when the head comes down, you have this pressure pushing down through the body. And you can see how the abdomen sort of clumps down and the diaphragm gets pushed together. Like we were saying when we were doing the short yang earlier. So it's keeping this upright so that the spine hangs. And then the bones can float upright, but the muscles can relax, release, and sink down. So just taking a moment to feel that. That also gives you the opportunity to transfer your weight down through both legs. Best you can. Now, don't forget in Tai Chi, when we're talking about things like suspending the head, it's more a sensation and feeling than within the body itself, or it's the best way to describe it. It's not like you're mentally tying a knot at the top of your head and suspending it by a rope from the ceiling. That's not what you're doing. You're opening up the neck and creating that kind of buoyancy in the head is what you're looking for. Give yourself a moment just to play. What you tend to find is the cervical spine just below the occiput, where it joins in with the base of the skull, tends to get compression. And you also tend to sort of like bring your chin forward and the head leans back, or the neck comes forward and the head leans. Hence we get a lot of shoulder pain and a lot of neck pain. Okay, so rise and fall. Palms turn to the floor. And what that does is it creates a slight kind of forward motion. Then with that forward motion, you're allowing the fingertips to draw themselves upright. And they come up to about in line with your rib cage. At that point, you drop the fingers and raise the arms to shoulder height. So you get this kind of wave. Palms to the floor. And again, you're not stretching your arms out here. You're not pushing down. It's almost like a sitting down, if you like. So you're sitting down, the palms turn flat, and then the hands come forward. And you're also rising up in the qua slightly. So the hands are rising up, coming forward, drop the fingertips, raise the arms to shoulder height. Now, do be careful that you don't come up onto your toes, because it's very easy to get carried away. So you're pushing down, from there, you're rising up through the qua as the hands come forward. Drop fingertips, raise the arms to shoulder height. And then when you get to the sort of shoulder height, you can feel it here in your trapezius muscles. I think that's what they're called. These muscles over the shoulder here, you can feel that kind of tightness. And if you start going too high, it kind of loses power. You've gone beyond your frame. So you come here, and at that point, the shoulders sink, the elbows drop, the wrists drop, and as the hands come down, you sit down slightly. So you're creating this wave through the body, coming up and down. So the idea there is that this becomes quite a strong strike. The hand can come up and strike, but also you can move people away from you. If they've grabbed hold of your wrists, for instance, If you focus on the wrist, you can't move them because the fulcrum is here. So what you do is you transfer the fulcrum back into the hips, and it's the hip motion there, just very slight lifting there, that helps your hands come forward. And you only literally need to just move slightly like that. It's enough to create enough backwards force to lift them off their feet. Unless they're very sung, in which case they'll just go with it and it won't make any difference. But for the majority of people, if they grab hold of your wrists, they are being forceful and they're locking their arms because they want to stop you from moving. So you don't worry about that. You sit down, and it's the sitting down moment here draws them off their feet as you draw the palms down. And then as you come forward, the fingertips leading up, you're pushing up through the quad as you come forward. And that's enough because they get drawn off their feet and then they'll try and recoil. And as soon as they recoil, you just follow it. So that's what that movement is all about. So it's not just doing this with the hands. That's no good. Now, you really need to be sort of sinking into the feet as your palms turn flat. Lifting up, so the wave comes up through the feet, through the quad, opening up through. Again, the shoulders drop, so you get this whole kind of wave thing. The shoulders drop, the elbows drop, the wrists drop, and you sit down. The next movement, Repulse Monkey, there is this kind of turning motion again. So when we're doing these kind of exercises here, turning around the spine, and here, that wasn't the answer to the question, by the way. Repulse Monkey is not the answer to the question. Although it's close, but it's not quite. So you've done rise and fall, and you're sitting down and allowing the hips to turn to the corner. And of course, the left hip needs to go forward, the right hip back. And you're just watching what's going on with the knee. Now, you can sit down into your left leg as you do this and come through. And when I first teach it, that's one of the things that I teach because I'm trying to get people to think about this kind of sitting down motion. And it's easier to go down on one leg than it is to be that peculiar door frame, that peculiar circular door frame moving around your center like so. There is a transfer of weight down into the left leg as the left hip comes forward and the right hip goes back. And it's that turning motion that takes your hand, your left hand, forward. So if you just put yourself feet shoulder width apart, have your hands out in front of you, and just sit down, corkscrewing like that, you can see how the left and the right hand move, but you're not actually doing anything with the shoulders, the elbows, or the wrists. Okay, so you can get that kind of feeling of the motion. And you can also get that the other way around. And the interesting thing is that you're not leaning with this. You're not stretching out with the arm. Because if you stretch out with the arm, you end up pulling yourself off balance. So you're keeping yourself upright and allowing the movement of the waist. And you can actually move the hand quite far forward without coming over the edge of your frame, if you like, or coming out of your frame. Then obviously for Repulse Monkey, we need to do something with the hands. So as you turn, the left palm comes up, thumb first, and then ends up palm up in line with the chin. The right hand drops away, coming up thumb first, and then ends up palms up at shoulder height. Just have a go at that. Part of what I was doing this afternoon was the silk reading stuff, where if you imagine you have a circle in front of you, it has 4 points, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in this case, as you're sitting, you're going from point 1 to point 2. So you sit down and you circle up around your forefinger, turning the thumb up. So the palm turns flat at point 2 on the circle. Okay, so from there, we're coming around point 2, and it continues up to point 3, palm up. So there's a rotation around your finger, coming round, up, and through. The same's happening with the backhand, only this time it's coming round, thumb up to halfway, point 2, and then coming up to point 3, it's turning over and ending up in the centre. But actually the centre for this arm is off to the back corner roughly. Are you with me? No! So, circle up the left hand, circle down the right, palms up, and bend the right elbow to bring right fingertips to ear. So you've sat down, and then you are squaring the hips. And as you do, you can see the left hand is drawing back. I'm not actually doing anything with it. It's drawing back because my hips are turning. The right hand is moving forward because the hips are turning. And as the hips are square, you just let them fall into their respective positions. So the left hand drops down by the waist, right hand pushing out. So you're trying to get this whole feel of this movement coming round, through, and out as being powered by the waist. So if we start again, feet shoulder width apart, knees off block, palms to the floor and forward, drop fingertips, raise the arms to shoulder height. Drop the elbows, drop the wrists down as though you're pushing through water. Circle up the left hand, circle down the right. Palms up, right fingertips to ears, square the hips. Left hand draws back, right hand pushing out with Repulse Monkey 1. And then do the same on the other side. So circling up the right hand, circle down the left, palms up, left fingertips to ear, square the hips, Repulse the Monkey. Now this actually feels much, much nicer once you start to refine it and you start to make the turning more central. Okay. When we first start it can feel a bit peculiar because you're over here, round, and then you're coming up over the quad, down, and then sitting down into the other leg. So you kind of get this kind of, there is a tendency to tick-tock from side to side. So you're sort of doing this kind of thing and you end up doing the front crawl. That won't work as far as Repulse Monkey goes. So as you refine it, you're trying to make the hinge the line of your spine as you turn. So that is slightly different to the way it will be in the first 5 videos that you've got for 10-step. But that's the difference between beginner and intermediate, if you see what I mean. And relax. You can actually use that kind of a movement for practicing silk reeling. So you're trying to find that fluid motion through the body, sitting back against the spine into the pelvis as you move. Awesome. So when we end up back at Repulse Monkey with the left hand forward, right hand down by the waist, it's then we're going to go into our diagonal fly. Now, all of Tai Chi should be, or all of Yang style Tai Chi should be movement around the dantian. So you're trying to move from your center as you move. You're trying to move from your center as you move. Can I get away with that? You try and move through your center, from your center as you go between each movement. Yeah, that makes more sense. So from here, again, I'm sitting into my left leg. And by sitting into my left leg, my left hip is going back, my right hip is coming forward. Sorry?
Which arm have you?
Left hand forward, right hand back. So if I'm facing the way you normally sit me. This is the forward hand, that's the down hand.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that I'm doing that. I've got my palm down, which is a very bad habit I've got from singing. So don't do that. Have the palm up, because Yang style is there. Okay, the palm is up. If you're doing Sing-Yi version, it would be there. So if you see someone doing Tai Chi and their palm is down, you know that they've done some Sing-Yi. You've no idea what Sing-Yi is, but it's Sing-Yi. Palm up. So you're sitting down into your left leg, and you're allowing the right hip to drop forward. And again, it's dropping forward, but the left hip is going back. So you're turning again around this door hinge here. So it looks like you're leaning, but you're not. You're keeping yourself reasonably upright as you sit down. The left hand is up, right hand is down. And all you do is you allow them to come in over the left knee. And you really do need to make sure that your weight is going straight down through your left leg at this point. So I'm moving around my center. My center has moved over my left leg. And I'm bringing my right foot in, tapping it on the floor to make sure that I'm actually not cheating. Okay. Now this is where it starts getting hard on the legs, because if you're sat down properly, then all your weight has to go down through that leg and it builds up a lot of strength. You also want to make sure you're not leaning over to the side if you can, so everything's upright. And then what you're doing is you're turning the waist to the corner and place your heel out, rolling the weight forward, sinking into the quad so that you don't take your knee any further than the end of the toe. The hips are square to the corner on this one. And what you do is you open up the hands, and there's this kind of like opening through the body. It kind of opens out as the palms crossed. You're separating and splitting. You can leave your back toe pointing to the corner on this one, or you can turn it in depending on how much mobility you have within your hips and how comfortable you are, because the hips are square to the corner. So you open, and then sitting back down, and you're getting this kind of, you're sitting down, which allows you to turn in the back toe. From here, you're coming round, and then sitting back into the right leg as you're holding ball over right knee, drawing in the left foot, turn the waist, corner, stepping out, rolling the weight forward, same again, opening up through the body. So you've got this whole kind of, it comes off this leg, up and out, and an opening of the body because the hips are square. And again, you can turn your back toe in if you're more comfortable with that. Toe, knee, elbow roughly in line. Fingertips here are in line with your nose or eyebrows. The other hand is down by the waist. And relax, give the legs a little shake. 10-step is really, really good because it's a short form, so it gives you something you can practice. However, it's really, really bad because it's a short form and it gives you something you can practice and people rush through it, not taking the time to understand all these little nuances. So a beginner will be doing the front crawl in Repulse Monkey. They won't be sat over the leg properly as they're coming in, because there's a tendency to sort of like and throw yourself around with it. Yeah, but you're trying to find that connection to the ground. So it's here, you connect to the ground, you turn, you step. So I should be able to pull that foot back at this point. If I've stepped too far, I can't. If I do that, I'm going to fall. So I have to be here so I can place. The toe goes down, and there's a mechanical action here. The toe goes down, the knee comes over the toe, and you're sinking in to the hips as they square, and the hands open. Okay, so your diagonal fly, then come round, back, and again, it's that getting out over the discomfort of coming back here. So you're sitting, you're coming up over the quad, sitting down, and as you sit down, you come into this hip, and that's when you hold your ball, turn, same again, you're turning the waist to the corner, placing the heel, place the toe, roll the knee over the toe as you open. So you've got that through the body. There's that kind of opening up through the body there. Repulse Monkey. Imagine grasping here, not grabbing, but just catching here and drawing into the waist. So the hand is being drawn down, so that's why the palm is up. The other hand is flat, facing away from you, because it's a version of an. It's a downward, it's almost like a slap downwards. It's a slap down if you like, but don't go like that. It's here. So it's all from the waist and then opening through there. So you can see that there is that downward motion through the body, through the arm, but it's not I'm not reaching out. I'm just here. So I'm actually using my mechanics, my body mechanics to do what I need to do. Then with the, then when I come into the whole ball again, you can have your hand down because you're doing a part horse's mane. So the hand can come up and rotate up. But in 10-step, it tends to be done with the palm down. So you're opening up through the chest, through there, as opposed to as we do it in short yang where you're coming back. Because you're sitting back, you really want more of a turning force here. But then you have the forward force going forward there. This one is just straightforward mechanical action as you come forward. So the palms tend to be facing each other on those sides, and you've got the same again, only the hands are the other way around when you're doing your brush knee push. And it's the same movement through the feet, sitting into the hip here, turn, so the hips are squared to the corner, place the heel, toe down, roll forward. But then this one, because you are pushing that way, you need to be turning the hips so they're square. So the back toe needs to turn in 45 degrees. You can't get away with that being at the corner. It needs to be 60. The hips need to be pointing straight at the end wall, and the back toe is 45 degrees there.